Yo, what's going on, YouTube family? As you can tell from the title, I'm going to rip the bandage off right now. Our 8-0 run has come to 8-1 run. We actually lost our first game last night, Thursday Night Football, in our last 9 games. We actually had the total under 39.5 points, and Spencer Rattler threw a pick 6 interception at the end, and then the Saints' third string quarterback comes in and throws a touchdown in garbage time to chalk our slip. I believe, guys, we're on the right side of that. Like, the under for the game was definitely the move. However, I did not expect the Saints to play that bad, especially on defense. Yo, guys, if we were there at the New Orleans Saints Stadium, I probably would have left that game at halftime, even if I had bought decent tickets. That was an absolute shit show. Not that the Broncos are very good, because they're not. That the Saints are just tremendously bad. Either way, it had to come to a halt at some point. We're 8-1 now going into the weekend. I've got the full slate of college football games for tonight for you guys. We're going to go over them, give you guys an analysis of each game, where I lean, what I think, where the public's on, like we usually do, boys. And then I am, right after this video, dropping 2 VIP plays, 2 VIP best bets for tonight out of the 4 games. 2 of the plays that I like the best, I'm dropping them for my VIP clients. If you guys wouldn't mind, definitely smash me a like on the video, drop me a subscribe, drop me a comment. If you don't got anything to comment, just comment the word locks. Helps me a ton with the algorithm, and I appreciate you guys so much for that. Makes me want to go and study. I just studied for a couple of hours this morning to get you guys all this analysis for these games. So we're going to do Friday night tonight. Go a little bit light. I got 2 bets for you guys for my VIP, all my VIP savages, and then we're going to go crazy on Saturday and Sunday, college and NFL, like we usually do. So my goal for tonight is, to win these 2 best bets, go up to 10-1, and yeah, go into the weekend. So guys, if you're not already on my VIP, I'll let you know that you can get 3 free days of my VIP. All you got to do is text me at my number here. It's my personal number. All you got to do is text me the word locks. Don't send me a bunch of other stuff. Just text me locks, text it to my number. I'll send you over a 3-day pass to my VIP picks, so you guys can test me out, try it out. I want to let you guys know how my picks are. Make sure you like the way I'm doing everything, and if it's good for you, you're making some money, then you could come over here and check out one of my plans. So I got a $99 a week, $249 a month, or there's a few season passes left for college football and NFL all the way up until the Super Bowl. A couple of them left. You can check it out. The link is in the description, or you can head over to winnable.com/SpenceLocks. Appreciate the love, family. Last night was kind of brutal. At the end, I was like sweating, and I was like, damn. Like, we should have had it until the very end. The Broncos shouldn't have been able to score that many points. So I knew the Saints were going to be able to put up that many points, but the Saints defense was like, I could have put a whole nursing home out there on defense, and they would have done better than the Saints defense. It was pretty pitiful. But like, I believe we're on the right side of the total for that game, so can't be too mad at 8-1, can we? Losing and winning is part of being bosses, but Hustler is going to survive, and we're going to keep the momentum going. And as long as we're making money week to week, that's what we're here for. So I studied a lot for these games. Let's break them down. So our first game, boys, we got Florida State. They're sitting at 1-5. They're playing up against Duke, 5-1. The spread is set at +3 FSU. Actually, we'll go over it real quick here, so you can see the lines here. We're looking at this game here, and the spread +3, -3. So FSU is +3, means they either have to win the game or they can lose by no more than 2.5 points. If they lose by 3 points, then it's considered a push, which means it's just avoided slip. Basically, you get your money back. So what I think about these, if you're going to do a spread play, I usually like to, at least go up to 3.5, which means they could lose by a field goal and you would still cash. Or if you're on this side, I would tell you guys to do -2.5. So you got to only win by a field goal. That's just me talking, because it's not too much value that you're losing in profits, but it could make or break. A field goal could really make or break a game and make or break your slip. So sacrifice a little bit of the winnings, just a little bit, to get a better line and to have because you would rather make just a little bit less rather than to lose the bet. And that's why I say it's like, that's how I like to play these games. But as you can see, the money line FSU +130, Duke -148, and the total is set over under 42.5 points. Let's see what the public's on for this game, boys. Obviously, we're going to talk about it. Duke is 5-1, so it's not a surprise to me that a lot of the money is on Duke for tonight. Over 86% of the money, 86% of bets is on the money line, and pretty similarly lined up. 79% of the money, 74% of the bets, and like I tell you guys all the time, usually all the money is on the over. It usually always is. Doesn't matter the sport, doesn't matter the matchup, doesn't matter the game. The public's always smashing the overs. So yeah, let's talk about this game a little bit as far as an analysis standpoint. And you guys are going to realize why, although Duke is 5-1 and FSU is 1-5, those numbers, you can take them with a grain of salt. And we're going to talk about that. So Florida State's offense, rushing numbers, non-existent. They're not a good team at running the ball. They're ranked 132nd in the country at yards per carry. They're averaging under 60 rush yards per game. They do drop back to pass a lot, but they aren't very good at that as well. Now, they had a brand new quarterback come in last game versus Clemson. His name is Brock Glenn. He's a new quarterback for FSU. They dumped the other guy. And in his first start against Clemson, he threw for 22. He had 200 passing yards, 4.9 yards per pass attempt, 2 passing touchdowns and an interception, which, to be honest, against Clemson is pretty damn good for your first start. I'll give him a lot of credit for that. And now, he's going to be going up against a much weaker Duke defense than Clemson. So if he was able to do that against Clemson, I do have high hopes for him in this game against Duke. But on the road against Duke isn't going to be easy. The FSU offensive line is pretty pitiful. Not a lot of run or pass support. On the other side of the ball, we got Duke defense. They're ranked number 13th in the country for yards per play, second in the country at yards per pass attempt allowed, and their defense is pretty strong. Their run defense is very good. They're only allowing average 3.8 yards per carry. So the Duke defense pretty strong. However, on the other side, the Duke offense hasn't been very great. Their passing attack's been all right, but they don't have much of a rushing attack. They haven't been able to run the ball all season, and if you give Malik Murphy a solid pocket to throw in, he can perform pretty well. He has performing pretty well if you're able to give him enough time to throw. Under pressure, of course, the numbers go down. But, for example, if they do have a lot of pass rush against them, like Northwestern was able to pass rush them, gave Duke offensive line a pretty substantial problem. As far as FSU's defense, overall, it's average. It's average, but they do have the ability to pressure the quarterback, it seems, pretty decently. They should be able to contain the rush attack versus Duke. So this game on paper, right, and as far as where the public's at, everybody is like, yeah, Duke 5-1, 5-1 at home, 5-1 at home, but you got to be very careful because Duke hasn't really played anybody. These two teams have played one common opponent, and it was Georgia Tech. I believe FSU lost by 3 and Duke lost by 10. So this game is going to be much closer than what the record predicts. I honestly think that FSU could definitely cover the spread or come in here and win outright. I think especially with their new quarterback that's in, I think Duke really hasn't played many people, and FSU has had probably one of the toughest lineups in college football right now as far as opponents. So there's my lean on it. These are just leans in my YouTube videos. These are not official best bets. My official best bets are plays I feel very, very strongly about. College Football Fridays is College Football Fridays. I'm giving you guys as much information as possible, and hopefully you can make the best decisions. But I do think Florida State has a chance here to cover the game. I do think also it's probably going to be a lower scoring game in this game, but that's just my opinions. All right, next we go into Oregon versus Purdue. Oregon coming in at 6-0, crazy win versus Ohio State last weekend. And if you guys were on my VIP, this is when we started the 8-0 run, basically. We had the total over. I forget what the total was, but we cashed on the total over for Ohio State and Oregon. We did that pretty effortlessly, and now they're facing off against Purdue, who's 1-5. The spread is set for right now. Line movement. It was 27. Now we're at 29.5, which is a lot, and the total is set at about 60.5. Let's check out the public chart real quick here so we can see what we're talking about. So The money line, obviously non-existent. Ducks are going to win this game unless we see something absolutely crazy like Vanderbilt and Alabama, but I don't believe that will be the case here. Now the spread is set now at 29.5, which is a lot of points, which means Oregon has to win the game by 30 points. And Purdue can't lose the game by 30 points. And that's a lot of points. I mean, and the total is at 60.5. As you can see, though, obviously all the money is on Oregon for the money line, which makes sense. But you can see more percentage of the money in bets is actually on Purdue to cover the game. And, I do think 30 points is a lot for a team to lose by. And the situation, doesn't really favor the Ducks as far as, traveling across the country after a big win in their previous game. It kind of feels like a letdown spot for them. So I understand why a lot of people are putting Purdue on the spread. And then obviously, like I always mention to you guys, majority of the money is on the over for this game. This is a lot of points. So if we're able to reach this, that is a lot of points. I'll just say that. It is a lot of points. But this is college football. This is Oregon. Now let's go over some of the stats for this game. So Oregon offense, as you guys know, not too much to say about them. Very good offense versus a very bad Purdue defense. Oregon ranks in the top 10, top 5 overall offenses. Purdue is pretty absolute dog shit at defense. So, it's tough for me to lay the points on Purdue, even though, that seems like a on paper play to make. It's just very tough for me to watch little Purdue go up against the top Oregon team. Oregon should be able to run the ball all over Purdue. It should be effortless. Purdue's defense allowing 328 passing yards per game. Terrible pass defense, allowing 6 yards per carry and 254 rushing yards a game. And this isn't even against Oregon. Oregon, I think, is going to come in here and do numbers. I don't know if they beat them by 30, but Oregon is definitely going to come in here and make a mockery out of Purdue. Purdue's offense, they're not terrible at running the ball, surprisingly, but they do have a new quarterback switch. Hudson Card, he's hurt. He's been out for a couple games. And the new quarterback, Ryan Brown, in the last game versus Illinois, which is a top, I forget what they are ranked. They're definitely top 25. Ryan Brown, he did 18 out of 26 for pass completions, 226 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions with a 203 passer rating. It's important to note this is much better than Hudson Card, the previous quarterback before the injury, was able to perform. So maybe this is why, a lot of people are believing in Purdue can cover the spread on this game. Oregon's defense on the other side, definitely not in the top 5, but they're a formidable force. It's Oregon. If they can pressure the quarterback, it's going to be difficult for Purdue. And I don't think the Purdue offensive line compared to Oregon's defensive line, I think it's going to be really tough for Purdue to do much. But it's such a big line. I believe now it's up to 29.5. I'd probably say Purdue on the spread or pass for me personally. It's tough for me to vouch for Oregon to beat them by 30. But, that's just a lean by me. Don't take what I say on these videos as best bets. These are not best bets. You can get my best bets for free for 3 days, or you can pay weekly or monthly or get the year subscription and have what I'm putting my money on personally, and my clients are as well. So third game, guys, we got Oklahoma State versus BYU. Oklahoma State's 3-3 on the season. BYU is 6-0 undefeated. The spread, let's talk about it. Let's look at it. Then we're going to go over why it might seem to be like this. So here's this game here. Plus 300 on the money line for Oklahoma State, minus 340 on the money line for BYU, and the spread is set at 9.5 right now. You can see all of the money, 93% of the money, 96% of the bets is all over BYU, and 70% of the money, as well as 60% of the bets, is on the spread. Public slamming the over, but in this one, not as much as in the previous ones that we've looked at thus far. But let's talk about why it's like this. So, Oklahoma State offense, they've been throwing the ball a lot like they always do. They're 6th in pass frequency. They started off the season good in the first 3 games with weak opponents, but since then they've been facing better opponents, and they haven't been that great. They have a new quarterback change as well. Alan Bowman dumped, and now we have this guy Garrett Rangel. We don't know too much about him, but on the year, he's 11 for 24 with only 141 passing yards, a touchdown, and 0 interceptions. I don't know too much about him. Doesn't seem like, But who knows? He could do decent in this game. He has an opportunity to shine, and I guess we'll just have to really see. But I don't know too much more about him other than those stats. They have no run game, only 89 rush yards per game for Oklahoma State. So mostly a passing offense. We got a younger quarterback who hasn't played much in this game against BYU defense. Let's talk about BYU's defense. Their defense is very good, especially in the pass. Nobody is able to throw the ball on them, but they haven't really seen too good of a passing attack all year, right? They're 6-0. They haven't played too many good teams at passing the ball. Like Oklahoma State, they might not be great right now, but they do pass the ball a lot. It's important to note. However, BYU's defense, they don't have a great pass rush, however, at all. They're better at pass defense, not as good at pass rushing. So that might give Oklahoma State and Garrett Rangel a little bit more time in the pocket. Maybe they'll be able to do something in the pass game. I know Oklahoma State has had kind of a rough season. They have a lot of returning seniors. They were supposed to be a really great team this year. They just haven't figured it out, and maybe it's a little bit to do with NIL deals and a little bit of money, players being disgruntled. I think it might have something to do with that. They might snap out of it. They might not. It's tough to say now, but BYU's offense, they're throwing the ball a lot as well. Quarterback Brett Ratzliff averaging 26 passing yards on the season, 8 yards per pass attempt, 14 pass touchdowns and 5 interceptions, 205 pass yards per game since playing more advanced defenses in the last 3 games. Their pass protection has been pretty great thus far. Going up against Oklahoma State's defense, it's been disappointing this year. It has. So far, especially against the pass. They should be able to limit the run from BYU at least. So both teams, this is going to be, I believe, a shootout as far as passing. Both teams are going to be passing the ball a good amount. But I do think BYU's pass defense is much better than Oklahoma State's pass defense. That's what I think about this game. But I don't know if I like the spread. I don't know. My VIP will have the best bet sent out for this game. But those are some informations. For me, it would probably have to be the over or pass for me on that. Our last game for the night, guys, we got Fresno State sitting at 3-3. They're facing off against Nevada at 3-4 on the season. Let's talk about the money lines and spreads and totals here. So here we got Fresno State, Nevada Wolfpack. A ton of the money is always already here on the Fresno State Bulldogs. 90% of the money on the money line, which is kind of a little bit of a red flag here. 60% of the money is on the spread for this game. The money line is only plus 125 and minus 137, and the spreads are pretty even as well as far as value. Total is set for 49.5. Public slamming the over as usual. But let's get into a little bit of analysis for this game and figure out why this is like this. Fresno's offense, likely to throw the ball. They're 29th in pass frequency, so they do throw the ball a good amount of times. Mikey Keene, their quarterback, is thrown for 1,574 pass yards. He's averaging 7.8 yards per pass attempt, 8 passing touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So a lot of turnovers, a lot of interceptions. However, on the other side of the ball, we got Nevada's defense. Their pass defense and pass rush is pretty weak. They have decent run defense. They started off the season hot, allowing only 3.73 yards per carry, and since then, in their last 4 games, they've struggled against the run, allowing 5.1 yards per carry. However, it's important to note that the teams that they played, Oregon and other good rush offenses, Fresno doesn't really have a good rush offense. So, that's important to note as well. Nevada's offense on the other side, they love to run the ball. They're pretty good at it. 27th in run frequency, 7 yards per carry, 287 yards per game rushing. Not much of a pass attack, only 174 yards per game on the pass. And on the other side of the ball, Fresno's defense good at the pass, but not great against the run, allowing over 200 rushing yards per game and 6.08 yards per rush. The way I look at it, guys, is Nevada, with the momentum that they have now, and being at home, and being able to run the ball a lot, I really do like Nevada in this spot. I like them on the spread, sprinkle some on the money line, but I think even if you can bump the spread up a little bit, I like Nevada in this game. I don't know if it's an official best bet or a lean, but you're gonna have to check me out and see what's going on, or wait till tomorrow when I make a video and give you guys an update of how our best bets did. But those are the games for today. It's already been 20 minutes, damn. I'm gonna get this video out to you boys. Please show me a love with a like, comment. Check out my plans. I'm going to be cooking for you guys right now for college football. We got a ton of games. Guys, let's get some wins tonight. Let's keep the streak, or the hot streak, the hot hand. Right? Let's keep it going. We're 8-1. Let's keep the energy good. Join the Discord. Links in the description of this video. All links for a bunch of sports books and apps to lock in plays are in the description as well. I got the Discord. I'm going to be live streaming the games. Come say what's good in the group chat. I'll see you boys later. Spence Locks out.